today's video, I'll be upgrading this old AM2 PC to make it run Windows 10 properly. Many consumers often trade in their older platform for a new one when they feel like it's getting a bit outdated, but most of the time, there are many upgrade paths left on the socket that will satisfy the needs of an average consumer, like office work, browsing, and video playback. In this video, I'll be looking at the AM2 platform, the AMD Athlon X2 5000 Plus to be more exact. This CPU is a dual core clocked at 2.6 GHz. I built this PC, which should represent an old family system used for the basic stuff I mentioned before. The system has 2 GB of RAM and a 150 GB hard drive. It also has a turbo case, which I'll be featuring in a future video, and therefore I will not show it. I'll be upgrading some of the parts to see whether running Windows is still a pleasant experience on this PC. First of all, I upgraded the RAM from 2 GB to 4. I wanted to see whether Windows 10 was still able to run in such an old system, and with 2 gigs of RAM, it didn't really make the cut. So that's why I bought 2 RAM sticks for just £4. Now this isn't enough for gaming, but to be completely honest, AM2 is too outdated for modern gaming titles. Another reason you might want to upgrade is because of the display. There aren't any HDMI ports on the motherboard, so you might want to pick up a GPU. In my case, I lent this HD6670 from a friend, but it can be picked up from eBay for around $10. Storage wise, you might want to get an upgrade as well. SSDs are dirt cheap nowadays, and it'll make your PC run significantly faster. The general feel of transferring files and booting the system will be much faster. As for the benchmarks, this time around I won't be doing any video games because this isn't really a gaming PC orientated video. I'll be testing basic tests, which are general usage, 1080p video playback, office work, browsing, and file transferring. I tried recording the benchmarks, but the PC simply would not take it. That's why the footage was recorded in a lower resolution. For the first benchmark, I benchmarked Cinebench. The CPU was able to get a score of 95 with both the cores, which is pretty low, and I'm surprised the Windows 10 even ran on the system. The general usage of the PC was pretty okay. The PC struggled with opening programs from time to time, but aside from that, there weren't any major issues. 1080p video playback was kind of a surprise to me. I thought it would run properly, but in the end, it stuttered quite a bit and it wasn't really a pleasant experience. Turning the display down to 720p worked perfectly fine though. Office work was of course a very pleasant experience. I was able to type my whole script on this PC without a problem whatsoever. Google Chrome is pretty notorious for its RAM usage, and that's why I went with Firefox for the test, because I only had 4 gigs of RAM available. And you might be better off using Firefox or Chromium and maybe DuckDuckGo like my homies do. For the last benchmark, I tested the hard drive speed. I'm sorry for the look of the software, but it be like that. And I gotta be honest with you, the drive was slow as fuck, as seen from the footage. You'll be much better off getting a cheap SSD instead of this shit hard drive. So in conclusion, is it worth to upgrade your old platform instead of getting rid of it? It all depends on what you're planning to do with the system. From the benchmarks we saw in this video, we were able to see it performing pretty well overall. That was it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
I like you.